December 2003 saw the 129th league meeting between Manchester's finest, United and City, who were unbeaten on their last two visits to Old Trafford. United were looking for their 50th league victory over their neighbours. A win would also take them to the top of the table, so plenty of incentive for the home camp. Sir Alex Ferguson's side were on a winning streak, and they had Paul Scholes back from a groin strain that had kept him out for 7 weeks. Brazilian World Cup winner Kleberson played just behind Ruud van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy was the main threat to Manchester City. He'd scored more goals than their strikers Nicola Anelka and Robbie Fowler put together. Kevin Keegan's side were proving very ineffective in front of goal. He was relying on Steve McManaman and Sean Wright-Phillips to provide the ammunition for his misfiring front men. Your commentator is Alan Parry.
City coming here off the back of 3 defeats and 1 draw. And as they get us underway, they're looking to build on a record that shows just 5 wins, 4 draws and 6 defeats. Ferdinand, whose immediate future is likely to be decided in the next 7 days. He's in trouble, of course, with the FA for missing a drugs test. Gary Neville hustled out of it by Robbie Fowler. And now Trevor Sinclair, who was always a Manchester City fan as a youngster, even though he had to go to London to start his professional career. Played for West Ham at the highest level, of course. Good ball through to Van Nistelrooy, just behind Scholes. Kleberson. Fine ball for Keane. Sinclair back defending for Manchester City, and Keane wouldn't let him have an easy way out. Sloppy defending here by Manchester City. Just as well Sinclair was back. They're still missing Alain Goma, of course, at the moment. Manchester City is an important player for them at the back. Sinclair again. Clearance by Gary Neville. And Van Nistelrooy will keep chasing this. Dunn had to intervene. Sinclair again. Looking to use the pace of Anelka, who's deceived himself with that touch. Thumbs up for the through ball. People have been saying he's having a poor season in Anelka, but he's only 4 goals short of his total for the whole of last season, when he was City's top scorer with 14. However, he hasn't been on target in any of his last 6 games in Anelka. Scholes for Manchester United, who beat Aston Villa here last week, 4-0. 2 late goals from Forlan, who came off the subs bench, and that's where he's sitting again today. Keane's header down by Kleberson to the Irishman, playing for the handball from the City fans as Gary Neville swings it in, and it's the first goal for United. Paul Scholes is back, and he's back on the score sheet. Just 7 minutes gone, and they're already celebrating here. That's exactly what Manchester United have been missing. Paul Scholes, who normally gets into double figures for goals every season, has been out for a long time now, came back as a substitute against Aston Villa, and now he's back in his familiar role as a goal scorer. Excellent Manchester United build-up, and the usual impeccable finish from Paul Scholes. That was where City claimed Kleberson had used his arm to control the ball. Mr. Halsey saw nothing wrong. Anelka doing well here against Sylvestre, who nonetheless won back the ball briefly, and it goes to Fowler, and away by Ferdinand. Difficult one for Sylvestre, but he did well. Dunn. Barton, this is better for Manchester City. They need this kind of concerted possession. Sinclair. It was a poor ball anyway, as he was trying to play it forward, and Cleverson won it. And has done well here. And Nistelrooy. Layoff by Keane. Ryan Giggs. Well, if this is Manchester United in third gear, the rest of the Premier League had better be warned, because once they hit top gear after the New Year celebrations are over, they're going to take some stopping, I think. And it goes to Van Nistelrooy, over his head and away by Sylvain Distin, but they just keep coming relentlessly forward, United. Ball in by Keane, Cleverson's there, Van Nistelrooy's there, and now Ryan Giggs! Well, if that had fallen to him on his left foot, I would predict that this would have been reading Manchester United 2, Manchester City 0. His right is his weakest foot, and he showed it here. That is a glorious, glorious opportunity for Ryan Giggs, who has scored 6 goals already this season, and really should have made that 7. He is very relieved he didn't. Phil Neville. Fowler. 3 defenders around him, and the deflection could easily have taken that one in. That was brilliant goalkeeping. Well, it was a nonchalant sort of effort by Robbie Fowler. It was a lucky deflection that took the ball to him in the first place, and then an even luckier one that made a shot that was going wide suddenly dipped goalwards. Brilliant reflexes by the big American, Howard. O'Shea. Scholes. And in again towards Giggs. Dunn had to win that header. Sun Jihai. Chinese international finds Barton. That could be a good ball, but Fowler was a little bit slow out the blocks. A suspicion that he might have fouled Ferdinand. And it's broken kindly here to Paul Scholes. Now on to Giggs. Van Nistelrooy in the middle! That's all he needed. He might have been quiet by his own standards. It didn't mean he wasn't going to get a goal, and he has. His 16th of a remarkable season, and Dunn, like so many other defenders before him, can only curse that he's made an error which has led to another Van Nistelrooy goal. There didn't seem any immediate danger, but when United break like that, they do so with devastating pace and accuracy. Consummate first-half performance so far by Manchester United. They did this last week against Aston Villa, of course. In fact, they've done it several times this season. I remember being here a couple of weeks earlier when they played Blackburn and played brilliantly in the first half and let it slip a little bit in the second. Well, they didn't lose either of those games. It ought to be pointed out. They won them both. Another flowing move here. Possible offside. Van Nistelrooy allowed to go on. Steve McManaman. Sané back to David Seaman, who looked a bit uncomfortable when he received that ball. Barton. Here's Sun Jihai. Wright Phillips. Can City get a throw as we move into the final minute of the first half of this 129th league derby? Manchester United lead Manchester City 2-0 here in the Barclaycard English Premier League. empty stand for City. Can they get something back just before the interval? Wright Phillips with the shot. It wasn't bad, but it was brilliantly held. Those are so easy to spill out. And had Howard not had such a safe pair of hands here, Anelka was waiting to pounce. There's only a minute of stoppage time. Wright Phillips, foul. Well, that minute might just provide some hope to Manchester City if they can get something out of this free kick. Have to be some shot to beat Howard. And in the end, it was Neville who got it clear. And there's the half-time whistle. Manchester City couldn't accept that final gift. Paul Scholes back on the score sheet for Manchester United, giving them an early lead at the end of a lovely move. And then, who else adds to it? Dunn made the mistake in midfield. United went straight down to the other end, and Ruud van Nistelrooy got his 16th goal of the season. Ryan Giggs had a wonderful opportunity to make it 3, but failed to take it. And Manchester United are completely in control here, at the moment anyway. They lead City by 2-0. Here at the start of the second half, 2-0 to Manchester United. Sun Ji-hai to Wright Phillips, City's best player in that first half. Sun Ji-hai again. Just can't get the ball in from these wide positions, City. They actually led the table briefly back in August, Manchester City. It was their highest league position for 12 years. But their recent form has been very disturbing. They'd settled just for a goal, City. They've probably forgotten how to celebrate one. Fowler going for it here. Pakistan. McManaman. Yet to score for his new club, Steve McManaman. Still being booed by those who remember his Liverpool connections, even though they were 4 long years ago. Wright Phillips. Sun Ji-hai. This is a little better from City. Fowler. Came off the shoulder of the United defender for a corner. Which McManaman takes. Bit of hesitation there for once by Manchester United's defenders. Little period of activity inside the United half. Wright Phillips. He's only got plenty of targets. Very clever. Very clever. Oh, he's done brilliantly! What a wonderful goal by Wright Phillips! Oh! Top draw! Well, that's one of the most unusual goals I've seen this season. And he's always looked the man most likely to get City back into this. Shaun Wright Phillips. Well, this is virtually unstoppable. First of all, a little nutmeg there on Scholes. Then he drifted wide of the next 2 defenders and somehow pulled his shot back from that difficult angle to find the net. But here's Van Nistelrooy. Oh dear, it's not like him. And City's improvement could have been ended in one instant. A mistake by Sommet. and it fell perfectly for Van Nistelrooy. What was he thinking of? Will that come back to haunt United, I wonder? And if they have got a problem with Ferdinand's fitness now, possibly Sir Alex will regard this as the right time to make a change, because suddenly they can't afford to carry a passenger anymore, and Sinclair tried to expose United's defence again, but was offside. Oh, what a kick that is! It's almost straight through to Van Nistelrooy. Dunn laboured somewhat to get there. And remember, City took 4 points off United last season. 3-1 win, Main Road. 1-1 draw with a late Sean Goater goal here. And Scholes used his arm there, and I think it was Barton, the injured, as it's played on by Fowler, and that's an excellent ball. The goalkeeper had to improvise and did so, and it's been headed back over his head, but he just about got back in time, Howard, and Fowler knows that maybe more could have resulted from this. It's his great ball there, and Howard half cleared it. It came straight back to Robbie Fowler. It was a long, long way out, but it was an open goal. Barton still unhappy about the challenge moments earlier from Scholes. Here's Phil Neville. Over Gary. Cleverson. And now Keane. Captain in possession again. Gary Neville. Van Nistelrooy's flick, and Giggs stealing it round the back. Well, it was a mistake by David Seaman, and he's very lucky it didn't cost the goal. Very lucky. Remember, he missed 3 games with that rib problem, came back prematurely against Everton, had to go off again in that game, and he was all over the place here. That was a pretty straightforward collection, you would have thought, for a goalkeeper of his standing. He missed it. Giggs very close to turning it in. And still Ryan Giggs. Was he being pulled back there by Sun Jihai? He was. It's going to be a yellow card. The second Manchester City player cautioned by Mr. Halsey today, following Joey Barton. An hour gone at Old Trafford. In the Barclaycard English Premier League, Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1, City joining a very elite group of teams who've scored here at Old Trafford in the league this season. Fulham and Blackburn, the only other two. Giggs, great ball. Good defending by Richard Dunn. Cling on here, City. They don't want to spoil what's been a big improvement for them. Keane. Oh, Barton with a complete missed kick. Scholes quite happy to take the corner. Literally, by the looks of it. Closely again by Joey Barton. It's rolled back into Giggs. Scholes, a wonderful ball in. So unlucky, Van Nistelrooy. Almost undefendable, this little ball from Paul Scholes. Whipped it in there. Was curling away from defender and goalkeepers. Under 20 minutes remaining at Old Trafford. And Manchester City build on their improvement here with another goal. Barton's free kick, it's not bad. Well, it was there to be hit. And United slow to react. McManaman for Manchester City. Van Nistelrooy with a great little cushioned header for Giggs. Keane. Sensible ball. Gary Neville. So was that to Kleberson. Good turn by the Brazilian Kleberson. Bill Neville. Here's Giggs. Scholes. Van Nistelrooy against the post and out. City are riding their luck and they're getting away with it at the moment. Van Nistelrooy could have had another hat-trick here today. Kleberson. Scholes! You just can't give them that number of opportunities and expect to keep getting away with it. And Manchester City go 3-1 down. Paul Scholes' second brilliant header in this game. Having just hit the post through Van Nistelrooy, Manchester United got on with the business. Welcome back, Paul Scholes. Sun Ji-hai. It's a useful ball in. Ferdinand's header away. Cristiano Ronaldo has given it away. And it should have been 3-2. How did Anelka miss that? How did Howard Savic come to that? Well, there's proof that Cristiano Ronaldo may be an incredibly gifted player, but you don't want him back in his own penalty area, obviously. What on earth was he doing here? Should have scored Anelka. Here's Steve McManaman. Good strike, excellent save. This fella is top draw because it's been one of those days when Howard hasn't had much to do, but virtually everything he has had to do, he's done brilliantly. And Nistelrooy, wouldn't it be typical of Manchester United to go and break and get another goal now? Here's Wright Phillips. Step over that Ronaldo would have been pleased with. O'Shea is not pleased at the decision to award a corner. Manchester City have had more corners than the home team. And the header across. Oh, and that's off the line, or was it? They all look at the linesman, and would you believe it? Paul Scholes, who's been such a threat at one end of the field today, has made a goal line clearance at his own end. That's amazing. Dunn's downward header, and Nelka helped it on. Ooh, close, wasn't it? Sun Ji-hai in strongly. Phillips took a swipe at that ball. But it's all over at Old Trafford for the 50th time in their history. Manchester United have beaten Manchester City in a league derby. Paul Scholes out almost 2 months through injury, got 2 of them. Van Nistelrooy, of course, his customary goal as well. There was an excellent goal for Manchester City, scored by Shaun Wright-Phillips, and at that stage it looked as though they might give Manchester United a game. But by and large, Manchester United were in control here today. They deserved the 3 points that will take them back above Chelsea at the top of the Premier League table. Manchester United 3, Manchester City 1.